This is the only video you need after 40 to have a body like Tom Cruise's. Did you know he wakes up at 4 or 5 in the morning every single day? Tom Cruise doesn't just work hard, he loves working out. He's active 7 days a week, starts early, and makes the most of every hour of the day with intensity. Meet Tom Cruise. Born in Syracuse, New York on July 3, 1962, he attended 15 different schools, struggled with dyslexia, and escaped a turbulent childhood by finding refuge in school theater. Just 4 years after graduating, he went from a one-line role in the film Endless Love to becoming the legendary Lieutenant Maverick in Top Gun, and never looked back. Today, at over 60 years old, Tom Cruise still runs across skyscrapers and hangs off cargo planes, all without a stunt double. It all starts with smart moderation. For Tom Cruise, agility is more important than muscle volume, so his workouts are lean but extremely precise, focused on preventing inflammation, preserving the joints, and keeping the body light and functional. Exercise number 1, slow body weight movements, push-ups, squats, and planks, all performed in a controlled manner with a focus on breathing, no rushing or overdoing it. The idea is to work the body as a whole, respecting biomechanics and maximizing muscle recruitment without stressing the joints. Exercise number 2, light plyometric movements, especially short jumps, dubbed by the team as Tom's on-set energy secret. He incorporates variations of short jumps and controlled bursts into his workouts to keep his neuromuscular system sharp. This practice improves reflexes, stability, and endurance, essential when executing dozens of takes, 20-foot jumps, and action scenes without a stunt double. Exercise number 3, breathing and cardiovascular exercises at altitude, light runs, stair climbs, and workouts with an oxygen restriction mask. All of this follows Tom from the set to the helicopter. The goal is to simulate the effort at high altitudes, naturally dilate blood vessels, improve muscle oxygenation, and control heart rate even under pressure, something essential during intense shoots in extreme locations. Exercise number 4, resistance sequence with mental focus. Workouts using resistance bands, medicine balls, and proprioception exercises appear almost every day. These activities demand total focus, balance, and steady endurance, especially on filming days that last up to 16 hours. This approach strengthens the body while keeping the mind sharp. Exercise number 5, low-impact functional circuit. Short hops, trunk rotations, lunges with light dumbbells, and push and pull movements, all performed at low intensity with absolute control. This routine accelerates muscle recovery and protects the joints. Tom usually includes this circuit as part of his warm-up or at the end of heavier workouts as a movement therapy that prepares the body for the next day. Those 5 exercises are the foundation of Tom Cruise's energy, recovery, and vitality, and explain why, at 62, he still looks 35. Now let's reveal the 3 exercises he avoids at all costs. The 5 exercises we mentioned keep inflammation in check, energy stable, and recovery fast, which is essential when the call for the next day might include hanging off a helicopter ski. Now, here are the 3 exercises Tom Cruise avoids at all costs. Exercise number 1, extreme load or poorly controlled explosive movements. No deadlifts with maximum weight, competitive CrossFit, or blind box jumps onto tall platforms, even during high-altitude scenes. When he needs more intense stimulus, he opts for moderate plyometric movements or functional exercises that focus on total body control. Why? Because overly aggressive movements cause microtears, increase the risk of inflammation, and impair muscular reaction time, unacceptable for someone who must time a motorcycle jump down to the thousandth of a second. Reflex, focus, and agility do not go hand in hand with overexertion and unnecessary wear. Back to the list of exercises Tom Cruise avoids. Exercise number 2, Long, repetitive sets on isolation machines, workouts on machines like the leg extension, front pulley, and abductor chair, when used mechanically and for prolonged periods, create localized fatigue and reduce neuromuscular efficiency. Exactly the opposite of what he needs on a filming day. Instead, most of Tom's training comes from integrated movements, such as squats, dynamic planks, and lateral shuffles, that engage multiple muscle groups at once, improve balance, and keep the body light, fast, and alert. Exercise number 3, poorly planned high-impact movements and generic gym routines. Tom Cruise avoids at all costs any exercises that create unnecessary overload, like long sessions on inclined treadmills, jumps on hard surfaces, or any routine without a specific purpose. He knows that such practices wear down the joints, compromise physical and mental performance, and directly undermine the lightness he needs during intense filming. Moreover, standardized and repetitive workouts tend to cause muscle imbalances, increased fatigue, and facial tension, something he absolutely doesn't want in front of 8K cameras that capture even the slightest sign of exhaustion. That's why when his trainer suggests generic routines or poorly adapted traditional exercises, he simply declines and opts for low-impact functional variations that are highly specific to what he will face on set. And if there isn't a suitable environment to train safely that day, he'd rather skip the workout and wait for the next opportune moment to move his body in what he calls clean action. This discipline also shows in his morning routine, which starts promptly at 5:30 a.m. with a silent alarm vibrating on his wrist. He wakes up and spends a full minute on gratitude, thanking for life, health, family, and the opportunity for another day of action. 5 minutes later, he's already on the treadmill, walking lightly while listening to the audio briefing for the stunts he will perform that day. At 5:50 a.m., he begins a dynamic mobility sequence with slow, precise movements, hip openings, gentle spinal undulations, shoulder circles, and deep breaths that signal to his nervous system that it's time to switch into full focus mode. At 6 a.m., he begins his strength training with 45 minutes of continuous, moderately intense exercises with full focus on form and fluidity. He rests only 30 seconds between sets and never sacrifices technique for weight. For Tom Cruise, the goal isn't to bulk up, but to keep the body agile, responsive, and functional as a machine ready to run, climb, and jump with surgical precision. At 6:50 a.m., he plunges his face into a bowl of nearly ice-cold water for 10 seconds. This helps constrict blood vessels, reduce puffiness, and awaken the senses. This simple yet powerful technique primes the brain and eyes for the absolute focus required on set. At 7 a.m., he performs what he calls a micro-metabolic activation routine. Light joint movements and short sets of controlled breathing combined with active stretching positions. Just a few minutes, but with maximum intent. This self-care pattern continues throughout the day. Strategic breaks for stretching, deep breathing, and short walks. Everything calculated and spaced to respect a clearly defined focus and recovery window. Unless a night scene demands physical effort beyond the usual, his last intense muscular stimulus occurs by 8 p.m. at the latest. Tom Cruise understands that the secret to youth isn't in extreme workouts or fads, but in conscious choices made daily with discipline over the years. And that's exactly what keeps him at 62 with the vigor, presence, and lightness of a 35-year-old man. All this routine requires a solid foundation of recovery, which is why Tom Cruise deeply honors his nights of sleep, ensuring about 11 hours of nightly reset whenever possible. But beyond rest, what he eats throughout the day plays a central role in his longevity, energy, and muscle recovery. Let's now talk about what Tom Cruise eats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For breakfast, he starts light, practical, and functional. His first meal includes 2 egg white muffins, rich in clean protein, accompanied by 6 almonds. The egg whites provide fast-absorbing protein, essential for maintaining muscle mass and preventing strength loss over the years. The almonds add healthy fats and a touch of vitamin E, helping to keep energy levels steady without spikes or sudden drops throughout the morning. Shortly after, he has a second breakfast, some dehydrated salmon, the famous salmon jerky, followed by a handful of fresh blueberries. The salmon supplies omega-3 fatty acids that keep the joints lubricated and protected, essential for someone spending the day performing action scenes. The blueberries act as true antioxidant shields, fighting oxidative stress caused by long takes, jumps, repeats, and continuous exposure to intense light and physical exertion. Lunch isn't a single meal, but rather a strategic series of small, functional snacks that he spreads over several hours to keep energy, focus, and muscle recovery at peak levels. The first part of lunch begins with chilled broccoli florets, lightly misted with extra virgin olive oil. This simple appetizer is high in fiber, vitamin C, and anti-inflammatory compounds, which aid both digestion and muscle recovery. Next, he has an isolated whey protein shake, which delivers fast-absorbing amino acids without any sugar or inflammatory additives. This step provides direct nutrition to the muscles without overloading the digestive system. Finally, he finishes lunch with a small portion of assorted raw nuts. This mix typically includes walnuts, Brazil nuts, and almonds. These foods are rich in magnesium and selenium, two minerals essential for stabilizing blood sugar, improving brain function, and sustaining mental focus during long hours of filming. Dinner starts simple and straightforward, with small herb-seasoned chicken cubes, a light, easy-to-digest protein ideal for restoring muscle tissue overnight. Everything is prepared for quick consumption without compromising quality. The goal of dinner is to provide clean fuel that helps the body repair itself while he rests. No heavy sauces, refined carbohydrates, or excesses that would disturb sleep or increase inflammation. Each ingredient is chosen with purpose, to nourish, strengthen, and allow him to wake the next day ready to give 110% again. To finish dinner, he adds an extra dose of zinc, essential for speeding muscle recovery and boosting immunity. Then he tops the plate with a portion of assorted vegetables, slowly roasted at low temperature, served as a kind of warm salsa over a piece of light, easy-to-digest white fish. The secret lies in the cooking method. Slow roasting below 150 degrees Celsius preserves nutrients like lycopene and natural nitrates, which protect the heart, improve circulation, and fight inflammation. The fish, in turn, rounds off the daily protein intake lightly without overburdening digestion during sleep. But what truly keeps Tom Cruise functional, agile, and with the physique of a 30-something, at age 62, is the training routine he follows religiously week after week. Now, let's reveal the full weekly exercise plan Tom executes to stay in shape, and how you can adapt it to your own reality. Monday, chest, shoulders, and triceps. He starts with the barbell flat bench press, 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps focusing on maximal strength with perfect technique. Next, he moves to inclined dumbbell bench press, performing 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps to target the upper chest. Then, he does seated dumbbell shoulder press, 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps, followed immediately by an Arnold press to push-up superset, completing 3 rounds of 12 Arnold presses and 15 push-ups back-to-back. To finish, he performs close grip dips, 2 sets to failure, pushing the triceps to their limit. Tuesday, functional activity day. On this day, the goal is to step out of the weight room and test the body in real-world environments. He might do kayak intervals, 6 rounds of 5 minutes of intense paddling, followed by 2 minutes of light recovery. Alternatively, he could go rock climbing, completing 5 routes with up to 3 attempts each. Or, for something more technical, he practices fencing footwork, 10 bouts of 60 seconds work and 30 seconds rest between each. Wednesday, back, biceps, and traps. The workout begins with the conventional deadlift, 4 sets of 5 reps at about 75% of his 1 rep max, focusing on posterior chain strength. Next, he does bent over barbell rows, 4 sets of 8 reps, followed by seated cable rows, 3 sets of 10 reps to build density and control. For biceps, he performs dumbbell hammer curls, 3 sets of 10 reps per arm, and for traps and posture, he finishes with a superset of band, pull-aparts and face pulls, 3 rounds of 15 reps each. Now we'll reveal what he does on Thursdays and Fridays, and how he combines intensity, active recovery, and total focus on functional performance. And if you're wondering how to adapt this type of routine to your age, schedule, or fitness level, don't worry. We'll show you exactly how to scale it in a realistic and safe way. After all, longevity isn't luck. It's built rep by rep every single day. Thursday, interval training and high intensity. This is the day Tom pushes his body to the limit with a focus on explosiveness, endurance, and agility. He starts with uphill sprints, 10 reps of 15 seconds at maximum speed, followed by a light walk back to the start as active recovery. Next, he moves to suspended training, performing TRX jump squats, 3 sets of 12 reps, combining power with joint control. Then he tackles battle ropes, 5 intense rounds of 30 seconds of explosive movements, followed by 30 seconds of rest. This type of workout not only boosts overall fitness but also enhances reaction speed, cardiovascular endurance, and body control, essential for the action scenes he handles with ease even at 62. Friday, legs and core. The foundation of the body must be solid, and Tom knows it. He begins with back barbell squats, 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps, focusing on strength and depth. Next, he does walking lunges, 3 sets of 12 steps per leg, activating glutes, quadriceps, and stabilizer muscles. Then comes Romanian deadlifts with dumbbells, 3 sets of 10 reps to work the hamstrings and isolate the posterior chain. For the core, he performs hanging leg raises, 3 sets of 12 reps, intensely engaging the lower abdominals. And to finish, a complete plank circuit, 3 rounds of 60 seconds front plank, 45 seconds left side plank, and 45 seconds right side plank. It's a workout that demands concentration, endurance, and total body control. Saturday, light and enjoyable adventure. No weights, no gym. The weekend is dedicated to moving naturally. He might choose a 60-minute steady bike ride, typically on trails or open roads, or a 45-minute barefoot jog on the beach. The goal is to keep circulation active, stimulate the lymphatic system, and enjoy the outdoors to recharge without excessive strain. Sunday, active rest and recovery. Tom never neglects recovery. On Sunday, he does a 15 to 20-minute myofascial release session with a foam roller, focusing on tension points accumulated during the week. He also includes deep breathing and gentle stretches to restore muscle tone and prepare the body for another week of intense training and challenging shoots. After foam rolling, he moves into a 20-minute deep stretch flow with smooth movements that loosen hips, spine, shoulders, and legs, restoring mobility and promoting a sense of muscular lightness. To cap off Sunday with joy and relaxation, Tom spends time on light family activities, maybe a game of tag, tossing a ball in the yard, or an unhurried walk. It's a way to move the body, connect with loved ones, and maintain emotional health just as carefully as physical health. And finally, here are the 4 golden rules that Tom Cruise follows with absolute discipline, and that any man over 50 can adopt to transform his health, appearance, and vitality. Rule 1, snack smart, don't overdo meals. Tom spreads his calories throughout the day in small, nutritious snacks instead of heavy meals. This strategy prevents the energy crash that usually hits right after lunch, exactly when he needs to be alert and ready for an action scene. Rule 2. Train for function, not for size. Hanging from airplanes requires grip strength, agility, and reflexes, not bodybuilder muscle mass. Tom's focus is on functional performance. He wants a body that supports him in any challenge with lightness and precision. Useful strength, real and applicable to life. Rule 3. Cook low and slow, live low sugar. Slow grilling preserves nutrients and reduces toxins. Cutting out refined sugar keeps reflexes sharp, mood balanced, and the brain running like a machine. Eating well isn't about banning pleasure. It's about choosing foods that keep you strong, clear-headed, and confident every day. Rule 4. Consistency beats brutality. Tom knows it's not the heaviest workout or the most extreme diet that delivers results. It's consistency. It's doing a little every day with quality and intention. That regularity builds a resilient, functional, and youthful body, even after 60. If you've made it this far, you've realized that youth isn't genetics or chance. It's daily practice. And you can start today. Which of these rules will you apply first to your routine? Comment below. Your commitment could be the start of a real transformation. 45 minutes of focused training, 5 days a week, outperform any marathon gym session, followed by 3 days of sofa sedentarism. Smart consistency always triumphs over purposeless excess.